a horrible morning for the economy. The economy just got hit with a massive gut punch. In July, the United States economy lost 23,000 jobs. For perspective, economists predicted that the economy would gain 85,000 jobs. That's a 100,000 job delta right there. It is the third biggest month for job losses since 2020. The unemployment rate actually somehow fell to 4.1%. But not just that, the June job market was revised down another 37,000 jobs. Economists are calling these numbers a, quote, big kick in the guts, because we are actively losing jobs in a stagnant economy. Americans can't get a job, let alone a good paying job. And the jobs that are open and that are hiring right now, you have hundreds and hundreds, sometimes thousands of applicants for one role. Good luck.
My buddy works in Dallas, Texas, and he works for a bank. And he said to me, Drayton, we have so many houses that we could close in foreclosure that we're not, because we don't know what to do. We literally have thousands and thousands and thousands of homes we could close on tomorrow. We could foreclose tomorrow. There are some people that haven't made a payment in over a year. He goes, thousands of people haven't made a payment in 6 months. But the bank doesn't know what to do. The bank's like, if we close on all of them, we put the people out, we don't have people to put in the houses. So now we have empty houses. So banks don't know what to do. That's how bad it is just in the Dallas area. I'm not talking San Antonio, Austin. I'm talking about just the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Thousands of homes that are way behind on payments haven't been made in over a year. And the banks are not foreclosing yet because they simply don't know what to do. They have so many that they don't have a plan on what to do if all those thousands of houses were empty. That's how bad it's getting. And this is just the beginning, because sooner or later you got to get the people out of these houses. And this is going to cause a calamity, and it's literally a ticking time bomb. When does it go off? This month, next month, 6 months from now? I don't know, but I can promise you this is the same situation in Georgia, Tennessee, Florida. Yeah, it's going to get really, really bad.
I worked at Walmart home office in Bentonville, Arkansas for about 9 years as a vendor. And one of the things I learned was, when you see this in a Walmart, this is not good. This is called a restack. And what this means is times are not well in Walmart right now. So what they're doing is they're changing the sizes of the aisles. They're reducing their stock. And people kind of really won't notice it much because they were only moving it like a foot in every area. But what this means is Walmart is sucking wind. And they're doing this because of the tariffs. When Walmart suffers, the whole country is suffering. FYI. The economy is very bad right now, in case you didn't know.
Okay, I've had enough. I'm pissed the off. So tell me how I can go stand on the White House lawn or wherever I need to stand to tell them that Big Pharma can kiss my ass, along with, I'm sure, a lot of y'all's asses too. So I've been on a medication for 4.5 months. It has done nothing but reap positive benefits in my life. I get it compounded because of Big Pharma. I pay $220 out of pocket to have it delivered quite literally to my front door, because the compounded pharmacy is like, I don't know, 4 hours from my house. And you mean to tell me that Big Pharma is like, nope, you can't get the medication for a fourth of what it's going to cost you to now have to get it filled at a pharmacy for over $500 a month? Or you mean to tell me that someone I really love and would hate to see something happen to is a type 1 diabetic, and their medication is either number one, not on the shelf, or number two, their $500 a month premium and insurance doesn't cover the medicine, but they have been for the last 12 months. And this quite literally is a life-saving medication for this person. Or you mean to tell me that the home that I pay $1,200 a month in rent for, that is quite literally under 1,100 square feet, would have sold for $90,000 maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and 2 houses next to me within the last 3 months sold for $190,000? Or that my 3 bags of groceries today would have been $25 in 2020, and it quite literally was just $99 for 3 bags of groceries? Or my 2010 Honda Accord being $55 to fill up, and just, I don't know, 18 months ago, 2 years ago, it would have been $30? How the is this world set up for any of us to succeed? How? And I would almost venture to say, for the area that I live in, I probably make well over what your average person is making, especially for a single income household. And I'm over here struggling. I mean, we got the thrifted dress on, which no tea, no shade, because I love to thrift, but like, I'm just thoroughly pissed the off.
Just a word from your local pharmacist that a lot of medications are on back order right now. A lot of medications have been recalled. So please be patient with your pharmacy. I promise you they're trying to work through the situation and are as frustrated as you are.
If you're a working class or middle class American, I truly hope from the bottom of my heart you are paying attention to what's happening right now. What we are about to experience over the next 3 years and what's been happening since 2020 will never happen again in our living history. And the fact is, most people are paying attention to the wrong thing. They're fighting left and right. And remember, the left and right, the divide is for us, not for them. Billionaires aren't fighting back and forth. Since 1971, we detached from the gold standard. The wealth gap has become absolutely massive. Our productivity has increased and our wages have not kept up. Assets have skyrocketed, the wealthy have gotten wealthier, and the working class have moved down to the working poor. And this is about to become much worse. Money does not move down. They make you think that. Money moves up. Money is just energy. It's just vibration. There's no real money in the system. And this is not our grandparents' and parents' economy. When our grandparents and parents were growing up and when they went into the economy, we had a positive debt-to-income ratio. The same levers that they pulled back then will not work now. The reason why is around the world we have a global debt crisis, we have overvalued stock markets, and basically everything running through the system is fake. It's just debt, it's just credit. So for the last 30 years, money is built on basically 0% interest rates. So a lot of the brokers, companies, and infrastructure you see is built off 0% interest rates. So if everything's built off 0% interest rates and cheap money, and the stock market's valued at 70 trillion, almost 69, 70 trillion, and GDP is 36, there's a lot of fake money and a lot of fake companies that are about to pay the piper.
All right, well, I'm back for some more bullshit and my opinion, and you know, for whoever who wants to hear it. Anyway, it's another rant of mine. But I've been watching a lot of stuff on TikTok and Facebook and whatever, and I've noticed people are getting very angry. Mentally unstable people. This economy is making people do things that they've never been doing before. And it's getting kind of scary. And the anger that I feel sometimes, and just the way I feel, I literally hate everything and everyone sometimes. And I'm just like, I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but holy shit, man. You know, if you're not a millionaire or a billionaire, you really don't mean shit in this world right now. I gotta be honest. Those rich are the only people who they really care about right now. So I hope you guys all know that. And if you don't know that, anyway, you know where I'm going with that. But you're gonna see a lot of fucked up shit going on here. The anger's coming out, people, and it's only gonna get worse. These people need to figure this out. We need to figure something out as the people. There's a lot of us on here, and there's a lot of people in the world. We need to figure out how to fix this situation that we're in, because we are all in big trouble.
Hey y'all, I debated on whether or not I was going to make this video, but I'm going to go ahead because at some point you have to draw a line. So I got hired at a bank. I'm not going to name the bank because the people that work at that branch are very, very friendly. But while I was sitting there this morning doing my onboarding, there was a lady come in and wanted to withdraw $5,000 from her account. And she stated, I'm going to buy a car, you know, I need to get $5,000 on my checking. She's buying a used car, and, you know, so she's doing what any of us would do if we were buying a used car. You know, you get your $5,000, make your down payment, whatever. Or, you know, because not everybody has checks anymore. Most people use debit cards, you know, but I myself still use checks. But when I do a transaction like that, I usually will get cash out and give cash as, you know, here's my down payment. So anyway, she comes in and she says, hey, she says, I need to get $5,000 out of my account. I'm going to get a car. And the clerk looks at her and says, I don't have $5,000 to give you. We'll have to order that and you'll have to come back tomorrow. Now I'm sitting over here doing my onboard and I'm like, what did they just say? So I'm listening. Now I'm like really listening. And she's like, well, I'm trying to get my car and I need my $5,000 for my down payment. And they were like, well, we'll have to order your money and you'll have to come back tomorrow, or you can try another branch. And she said, well, I just left such and such branch. And she said, they didn't have it either. Y'all, when I tell you that if I walked into my bank and asked for $5,000 and they told me to come back tomorrow, the absolute shitstorm that would happen, I would probably end up in jail. Because I'm about to get, my daddy's last name's about to come out. This woman was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just try another branch. Oh, hell no. No, honey, that ain't the way we're doing this. My money, you have my money, and I come in here needing my money, you're going to give me my money. Because if you don't give me my money, I'm closing every account I have at this bank. I'm closing my loans out. I'm closing everything out. That is my money, and you're going to give it to me. I don't know what's going on with some of these banks, but I'm telling you now, you should test your bank before you deal with them. Because I've went into my bank and done that. I went in and asked for $10,000, and they counted me out $10,000. They didn't even ask me what I was using my money for, and I didn't tell them. It was none of their business. So, all of you that are all for this cashless society, using your debit card everywhere you go, you better think twice. Because when they control your money, they control whether you eat or not, and then they control you.
So if you don't have a job these days, chances are you're not going to find one at all. And here, let me explain this to you so you can understand this. Every resume, every application that you fill out is now looked at by AI. There is no more human beings looking at your resume. And if you are making a resume and it goes into the AI, guess what? You are now pigeonholed, which means that whatever is on that resume, you'll never be able to change it. Because as soon as you change it, you come up as a flagged impersonator, right? Even if you do have the experience. So in order to get around this, you're going to have to open up your own business. You're going to have to work for yourself. You're going to have to bring value in other ways other than giving it to your boss. Because at the end of the day, if you are looking for a job and you can't find one, you will never be employable again. And there you have it.
While the stock market hit an all-time high today, a report also came out today that 63% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Also today, Polymarket Money posted that U.S. wages and salaries fell to 43% of the gross domestic income. That is the lowest since they started recording the data since 1929. And just 3 days ago, the Spectator Index posted some alarming rising in percentages of cost of the very things that we consume just since January. Let's work through it. Rice 45%, cotton 27%, wheat 25%, and wool 21%. Rubber's up 20%, and cheese is up 16%. Tea is up 15%, and lumber up 14%, but yet they tell you that the housing demand is crushed.
Man, the economy's so bad. If you got like $10,000 in your savings right now, that's like having $100K. In terms of if you living frugally and you living below your means, you ain't out trying to blow it because you know you got it. 10K with a job now, you maintain it, that's your savings. Bro, that's like $100K. In terms of importance of how important money is right now. A lot of folks gonna come in and say, no, bro, $100K is really like 10K. No, 10K hold the same value as $100K right now. If you living frugally and you got your own everything, you paying your bills, you got your job or your career, you maintaining. That's a good savings for right now. But you can't lose a job for 2 to 3 months though. You lose a job for 2 to 3 months, you over with. You're going back down to 3K off the rip. So don't try to come in these comments talking about 100K is really 10K, bro. No. I'm talking about the level of importance, and I'm talking about for the average person. I'm not talking about y'all dudes that got a lot of money for real, which is cool. That's good if you got a lot of money. We're talking about the average American, bro. The average American, they got 10K right now. That's like 100K, bro. Off the rip. I don't care what nobody said.
Can I just rant, like, real quick? I promise it's quick. I just need to know why every single coffee shop that I've been to this past, 2 weeks, I'm externing right now, so I don't have my Nespresso luxury at home, so I've been literally trying out new coffee shops within the area, and they're all minimum $8. Like, when I was working as a server back in, 2019, I could get a whole ass meal at Chipotle for $8, with chicken. I just don't understand why that's the norm now. It's heartbreaking. I mean, that's literally oh my God, why am I zooming? That's literally an hour's work after tax. What the
I think we all need to talk about the growing problem of homelessness and people trying to save money by sleeping in their cars and trucks. And now what we have is a bunch of states making new laws that are unconstitutional, by the way, making it illegal to be homeless, illegal to sleep in your car that you own. Who the do you think you are? Illegal to sleep in the car or truck that I bought, that I own, that I put insurance on for just in case, that I register, all that bull inspection, everything you make me do just to have one vehicle. And now you're gonna tell me that I can't rest in my vehicle? You're gonna tell me if I'm allowed to be homeless in your country, or I thought it was my country? I don't fucking know. I'm getting really fucking confused over here.
Princess, look out the window. And welcome to Genovia.
We can't afford to live. You're not lazy. Show this to your parents when they say they don't believe you, that you can't afford to live. The National Low-Income Housing Coalition just published their Out of Reach report that shows you exactly how much you would need to make to afford an average 2-bedroom rental. Not even talk about homes, not talk about buying homes, affording a 2-bedroom rental home, how much you would need to make per hour. In 0 states in the United States of America, can you afford a 2-bedroom rental home on $725? If we take Puerto Rico out of the equation, which is not a U.S. state, it is a territory, 0 states, can you afford a 2-bedroom rental home on $725, $825, $925, $1025? The minimum amount of money that you would need to make in the cheapest cost of living state in the United States of America is in West Virginia at $19.23 an hour, meaning that you need to make damn near $20 an hour just to afford a 2-bedroom rental home. In 2026, California surpassed $50 an hour. $50 an hour. In 2025, none of the U.S. states did you need to earn $50 an hour on average to afford a 2-bedroom rental home. California surpassed that in 2026. This is real-time data as of 2026. How much you need to make in every single state in the United States in order to afford a modest 2-bedroom rental home. You need to make at least $20 an hour. So when you make $17 an hour, $16 an hour, $15 an hour, $10 an hour, that is not enough to afford a 2-bedroom rental home.
Can somebody please help me understand? How in the world did we get to where we are right now? I spent in 3 days a total of $200 in fuel. $200. That is just insane. It's insane. I mean, I'm basically working to pay for fuel and bills. That is it. I mean, if I don't put fuel, I can't get to work. And if I don't work, I don't have money. But I mean, who in the world is going to be able to afford? I mean, honestly, we're not living. We are not living right now. We are surviving. I mean, we are in survival mode right now with the way everything is. I mean, that's $200 that I had to take away from maybe groceries, or I don't know. It's insane. I mean, somebody please help me understand. How did we get to this?
How are you making it on one income? I am a 45-year-old mom who got the degree, got the job, got the steady paycheck. My husband finally, for the first time in all of our years of marriage, has a steady job, a steady paycheck, but we still weren't making ends meet. How are you doing it? How are you doing it without a side hustle? Because I legit want to know. Gas, groceries, insurance, utilities, everything is up. How are you doing it and doing anything extra without bringing in an extra income? Unless you have some 6-figure high-paying job. As a normal family, how are you making ends meet? Tell me, how are you making it on one income? I am a 45-year-old mom who got the degree, got the job, got the steady paycheck. My husband finally, for the first time in all of our years of marriage, has a steady job, a steady paycheck, but we still weren't making ends meet. How are you doing it? How are you doing it without a side hustle? Because I legit want to know. Gas, groceries, insurance, utilities, everything is up. How are you doing it and doing anything extra without bringing in an extra income? Unless you have some 6-figure high-paying job. As a normal family, how are you making ends meet?
It's hard to explain this to a parent, but like I just got a FaceTime with my dad and I was trying to express to him that like I'm happy and healthy and very blessed, but that doesn't mean I'm not extremely worried and confused about what the future holds. And I feel like these are obviously normal like growing pains, but mine aren't growing pains because of like things I'm going through. Mine are growing pains because of the literal circumstances of the society that we live in. And it just feels like, what are we working towards a lot of the times, or pretty much all the time these days, with like AI and, you know, the dating situation where like there are no men out there for any women. So like families are not going to be like, I don't know, I won't get into all that, but like, it just feels like nothing right now. Like the way that our parents grew up and they had this like, you know, future planned for them as long as they took those steps. Like obviously we just don't have that anymore. And I don't know, sometimes I get off FaceTime and I was like, should I have held back a little? Should I have just said, oh, I'm good? I don't know. It's hard to explain this to a parent, but like I just got off FaceTime with my dad and I was trying to express to him that like I'm happy and healthy and very blessed, but that doesn't mean I'm not extremely worried and confused about what the future holds. And I feel like these are obviously normal like growing pains, but mine aren't growing pains because of like things I'm going through. Mine are growing pains because of the literal circumstances of the society that we live in. And it just feels like, what are we working towards a lot of the times, or pretty much all the time these days, with like AI and, you know, the dating situation where like there are no men out there for any women. So like families are not going to be like, I don't know, I won't get into all that, but like, it just feels like nothing right now. Like the way that our parents grew up and they had this like, you know, future planned for them as long as they took those steps. Like obviously we just don't have that anymore. And I don't know, sometimes I get off FaceTime and I was like, should I have held back a little? Should I have just said, oh, I'm good? I don't know.
So I just feel like with the price of everything right now, especially the rent prices, I was just looking at this post of a guy who was paying 900, no, I think he was paying like 800 or 900 for a one bedroom in 2019. And that same one bedroom apartment is now $1,700. And I just think that's ridiculous. And I'm trying to figure out what is the end goal here, especially with AI. What is the end goal? Are things just going to keep increasing until people cannot afford anything? Is it going to be time for some sort of uprising, some sort of fight against this? I don't know. Just interesting.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing great wherever you are watching us from. Let me tell you something I think a lot of people are finally starting to understand. For years, we were told that if you have worked hard, stayed out of trouble, saved your money and played by the rules, you would eventually be okay. But look around today. People are working full-time and still struggle to pay rent. Groceries that used to fuel a shopping cart barely fuel a few bags anymore. Home ownership feels impossible for a lot of young people, and even having a decent paying jobs doesn't guarantee financial security. And this is something many black people have been warned about for a long time. We have seen that happen when the system stops working for ordinary people. We have watched wealth become concentrated at the top while working families are forced to choose between paying the rent, buying food, or keeping up with their bills. And now, more people are experiencing that same pressure. That's why I don't think this is simple about one political party or another. This is about ordinary people asking a very simple question. How are we supposed to survive like this? Because when people work harder but fell further behind, eventually they stop believing in the promise they were sold. And maybe that's the part nobody wants to admit. The people who ignored these warnings for years are now feeling the same economic pressure that millions of working families have already been dealing with. The difference is now they are realizing it too. And honestly, I think it's already too late to pretend everything is fine. Anyway, guys, what do you think about this video? Drop your thoughts in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share the video to help the channel out. See you in my next video. For now, peace.